Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight on Bear News. We're happy to announce that this is our first live show airing on Facebook Live.
Share this link with your family and friends and help us grow our Bear News community. This will also be our last show till April 1st. No, we're not trying to fool you. Our Bear News show will be back April 1st after the staff has some time to enjoy spring break.
Once again, here on Bear News, I'm Austin Sack. Tonight we have some valuable information about how graduating students can best prepare for their next chapter in life.
And I'm Catherine Stala. First, we take an in-depth look at what 5G technology is and how it might affect your day-to-day. Bear News reporter Stephen Moss joins us in the studio to explain. Stephen, 5G promises blazingly fast speeds with little lag, but what does that mean?
Well, thank you, Kate. You probably know what this means. It's an iPhone. You probably know what it can do, like playing games, watching this broadcast, taking notes, and of course, making phone calls. This is all possible because smartphones use radio waves to connect to the internet either through Wi-Fi or through a cellular connection. Cell networks become more technologically advanced every 10 years or so. First, there was 1G, which was developed alongside the first cell phones back in the 80s. It can only make phone calls. 2G could send text messages. Then came 3G, which was similar to dial-up internet in its functionality. That was followed up by 4G, which is the equivalent of broadband. Now, typically 4G can download about 50 megabits per second with 28 milliseconds of latency. 5G promises download speeds of more than 1,000 megabits per second and only 1 millisecond of latency. That's fast enough to download a dozen movies from Netflix in a few seconds. Companies like Verizon, AT&T, and Apple are promising new futuristic possibilities like self-driving cars instantly communicating with each other and having every appliance in your home being connected to the internet. But those prospects are still a long way off. That's because all that speed comes with a massive trade-off. See, there's two types of technologies powering 5G. Ultra-wideband, or millimeter wave, gets you the highest speeds and the lowest lag, but it's only available in selected cities, and Greeley's not one of them yet. Worse, the high frequency of ultra-wideband can't go through walls, and that means it's hard to use indoors. The other technology rolling out is mid-band. That's rolling out nationwide, but it has a problem. Those speeds range from 100 to 400 megabits per second. Now, that's still faster than 4G, but far below ultra-wideband. And to make matters worse, there's another problem. The spectrum used for 5G is also used for weather forecasting. So too many 5G devices lit up all at once can potentially interrupt and give inaccurate measurements of the weather used for Mackenzie or Kiera's forecast. So if you're considering getting one of those newer iPhones just to take advantage of 5G, you might want to wait. The technology is still new, and in most of the United States, it's not a lot faster than 4G. Reporting live from this studio, this is Stephen Moss, Bear News.
Well, thank you for the explanation, Stephen. But one last question. How harmful is 5G?
That's a good question, Austin. 5G still uses radio waves, which is much lower on the electromagnetic spectrum than even visible light from the sun. At worst, it's about as harmful as standing next to a microwave. And because this has come up a lot over the past year, no, 5G will not give you COVID-19. Continue to wear a mask outside the studio, though.
Thank you, Stephen. We'll look forward to you updating us as the 5G networks and higher speeds roll out. The University of Northern Colorado developed the 10-year strategic plan Rowing Not Drifting 2030 following a major collaborative process with a lot of university stakeholders. Rowing Not Drifting 2030 brings to life a vision for the University of Northern Colorado and takes shape in the form of a vision statement, 5 vision elements, and 2030 outcomes that serve as the foundation for supporting and serving UNC students, faculty, staff, and community. The 5 vision elements are the major building blocks of the vision. Each of them describes an institutional priority. The plan's vision statement says the University of Northern Colorado will be the institution that Colorado looks to as the future of higher education. As the university implements each stage of the strategic plan, you can follow along on the new Rowing Not Drifting 2030 planning website that will serve as a hub for sharing details and information about the plan and the next steps. The website also serves as a space to celebrate the success and track the progress in coming years.
In a few short months, hundreds of students graduate from UNC with hopes to start their careers. Anxiety about how to get ready for this change is common. This week, Bear News reporter Nick Trask took a look at how seniors should prepare during this pivotal time.
Most people know that in order to get a job, you need a resume and usually a cover letter. But to ensure these give the right impression, it's smart to reach out and get some feedback.
I think everyone should start networking like ASAP. There are Facebook pages for everyone, and when you're in school, people like to help. People will look at your resume, look at your portfolio, look at your reel, look at your writing, and comment on it. But once you get in the industry, that willingness to help shrinks a little bit.
Also, cater your resume, cover letter, and interview preparations to the specific words that the company uses in their job posting.
Do not craft one resume and send it to everyone. You should tailor every resume to every specific job. You can have a generic resume for LinkedIn or for your website, but never send that generic resume to anyone.
Remember to use the interview process to tell stories. Answering questions this way gives you an opportunity to show who you are.
Basically, an interview is simply a personality test. I mean, you're qualified because you're there in the interview. So now they want to see you in action, managing these questions and taking them through stories and understanding how you overcome an obstacle or how you work with others. So you need to have canned answers ready to go for interviews.
It may seem silly, but it's actually something small that can make you stand out during the hiring process.
Reporting from Greeley, Colorado, I'm Nick Trask, Bear News.
I know I could certainly use a few tips before graduation, but luckily I still have another semester. A few weeks ago, Bear News reporter Camille Kleiman's story about the Terry Ranch project turns heads. This week, we have an update on this important issue. In their March 2nd meeting, the Greeley City Council voted unanimously to buy water from Terry Ranch. The water comes from a confined aquifer in northwest Weld County, but opponents fear it has been contaminated by uranium and other toxins. To voice their concerns, activists hosted a rally outside City Hall to raise awareness and collect signatures. City Council member Tommy Butler recognizes these concerns, but believes the Terry Ranch project can be safely treated and used for years to come.
If I thought this project was unsafe, I'd absolutely be voting against it.
Greeley's water future is still up in the air, but debates like these prove everyone has a stake in what we drink.
Meteorologist Mackenzie Lake is back in the studio this week with the current conditions and her full weather forecast. Mackenzie, after we just had some beautiful weather and high temps, and now we hear a lot of talk of some snow headed our way, what can we expect?
Thank you, Austin. Yes, unfortunately, we are expecting to see a lot of snow. This snowstorm could even be bigger than the one in 2003. So we'll be seeing record-breaking amounts of snow, high winds, and very chilly temperatures. But don't worry, I'll get into that in full detail later in the show. Taking a look at our current conditions here for Greeley, Colorado, we see we have beautiful, bright, sunny skies, only a couple clouds, and it's so beautiful outside. So please go take advantage before we go and see this huge blizzard that's coming towards our way this weekend. And this week, surprisingly enough, is Severe Weather Awareness Week. It started March 8th and goes to the 12th. And funny enough, that's pretty ironic for the storms we're going to be seeing this weekend, right, Austin?
Absolutely, Mackenzie, and everyone just please be safe out there in the weather if you're planning on traveling or moving around at all for spring break. And we'll see you later in the show, Mackenzie, for your full weather report. Well, it's almost time for that day that just about everyone loves to hate. This Sunday morning, daylight saving time goes into effect once again, meaning that we have to set our clocks forward 1 hour and lose that hour of precious sleep. Daylight savings time is in effect until November 7th this year. That's when you get your hour of sleep back. As always, not every state observes the change. Arizona and Hawaii are the only two states that don't move their clocks forward this Sunday. The purpose is to conserve energy. The United States observed daylight saving time inconsistently until 1967 when Congress passed the Uniform Time Act. That act provided advance time from the last Sunday in April until the last Sunday in October. During the oil embargo of the early 1970s, the country adopted daylight saving time year-round for just 1 year. In the face of loud opposition, Congress abandoned the year-round schedule and returned to the April to October plan. The current schedule went into effect in 2007 with the change happening on the second Sunday of March and lasting until the first Sunday in November.
Reporter Quinn Hodge has been bringing us some crime content to us each week here at Bear News. Kelsey Nigro is a sophomore criminology and criminal justice major here at UNC. She is a unique twist to her degree, a dance minor. Kelsey has been dancing for most of her life and wanted to try and incorporate it into her higher education.
Kelsey Nigro is a second-year criminology and criminal justice major. She spends her free time dancing as well as her pursuit of a dance minor. She teaches dance to students younger than herself and hopes to open her own studio. Kelsey gets a unique experience by studying at UNC because the criminology and criminal justice departments are combined. This means that she gets to study the entire criminal justice system all at once.
This is actually one of the few schools that combines them, which is really cool, because other places it's both. But I got into it because I wanted to go into law enforcement.
She spends most of her time in Candelaria Hall, where the criminology and criminal justice department is housed, but also spends time in Gray Hall, as it is home to the UNC police and the dance department.
The main reason I want to be in law enforcement is to help people. And help the victims and the lesser people of this world.
While it is not required for police officers and other law enforcement to have a college degree, Kelsey sees that it is important for her to get an education before she moves into the workplace. Kelsey will bring peace to the world through her art and through her career as a police officer or law enforcement officer. This is Quinn Hodge reporting from Greeley, Bear News.
Kelsey has lots of passions, and we wish her the best in her career. You can check out more about criminology and criminal justice at the UNC website or by visiting the program office in Candelaria Hall. When Bear News returns, we debunk some of the major stereotypes of joining Greek life at a university.
We also have an important update on the Monster Up and Up virtual concert contest. Voting is now open, and we'll tell you how you can participate when we come back. In January, we reported about Wing Shack opening its new location on West 10th Street. At the same time, the owners were planning a new experimental location next door. That experimental location is now a reality. Sexy Sammy's, yes, that is the real name. Anyway, it opened up right next to the new Wing Shack 2 weeks ago. The sister location sells chicken strips, fries, and sandwiches on Texas toast. Also like Wing Shack, they're both open for curbside pickup and dine-in options. Owner Brian Seifried considers their chicken strip restaurant a side experiment and even shares some ingredients and sauces, including their signature garlic hot sauce.
It actually came out of the idea of a ghost kitchen in the kitchen of the Wing Shack when we were shut down this fall. We realized we just didn't quite have enough capacity at Wing Shack to get that done. And then when we opened our new Wing Shack 10th Street location, we had a little bit of extra space and we decided to go ahead and give this a try.
So if you think going to Fort Collins for Raising Cane's is too far, here's a new restaurant in Greeley with similar fare.
Are you a first or second year student who's looking to make new friends? Here at the University of Northern Colorado, Greek life has got you covered. UNC student Dominic Wilderman tells us that some of the stereotypes are way off base.
I think that people should join Greek life because there's actually a lot of positive aspects to it. First of all, being your academics, your grades will go up substantially, which is like really weird to hear because that's not really a thing that people hear that often. But my grades, they shot up. Like I graduated high school with a 2.7. Now I have a 3.9 as a junior, which is pretty weird. Another thing is just like the brotherhood or sisterhood aspect of it. You get to actually form like connections with people, and I don't know, it's just like great joining like a second family, I guess.
So at UNC, anybody can find their community if they're willing to look for it.
If you recall from a few shows back, we had news about a possible virtual contest that UNC students can participate in to win a virtual concert from several popular artists. Monster Energy is hosting a student-run contest called Monster Up and Up. I was asked to produce our school's promotional video at the request of Monster Energy in hopes of giving UNC a fighting chance against other major schools in the competition. Each school will compete by seeing what school can cast the most votes on the website www.upandupfestival.com. The video we are about to show will explain the contest in more depth and will show you how you can vote.
This was a story created by you to keep me here. But that's not going to work any longer. I'm getting out.
Have you ever questioned the nature of your reality? Wait for it.
There will be a Yappa widget next to each video. Tap the green button to create a new Yap. Press record to start recording your Yap either as a video or audio. Check the duration because each Yap can be up to 45 seconds, so make sure you get your comment in before the time runs out. Press stop when ready to end the recording. You'll be able to play back your Yap or record a new one if you didn't like it. And now you can post your Yap to coincide with the video of your choice.
By voting, you're not only helping us crown the winner, but you're also giving yourself a chance to win $500. That's right, we are going to pick the best Yap and give them 500 bucks.
Remember, voting opened March 10th and will remain open until Saturday, March 13th. And not only UNC students can participate, so show that link out with all your friends, faculty members, and anyone else in the Greeley community to support UNC. Let's show everyone what UNC's got.
The UNC community took a break from COVID to enjoy an honors concert in the Garden Theater last week. The concert featured the Cowards performing original songs and covers. As Bear News reporter Shelby Irwin tells us, the concert left the audience wanting more.
The honors concert that took place March 4th at 6:15 took place at UNC's very own Garden Theater. Even though the concert was organized by the Honors Student Council, all those who are not part of the honors program were welcome to attend. Eli Shoemaker is the treasurer for the Student Honors Council and helped coordinate the event. we decided to do more of like the social aspects, so more people would be interested, so we can get our name out there. Pretty good turnout for signups, and then we had people stop in and just sign up with a QR code on the table as well. We're going to try to merge with a lot of the sports, band, and then like Greek life, and then try to do some social media awareness. So next year we're planning on having 2 to 3 concerts.
The band that play for the night are called the Cowards. 2 of the 3 members are currently attending UNC. The band consists of the lead singer and guitarist, Tristan Bowe, the bassist is known as Logan Hyatt, and the drums are played by Bobby Buckner, all 3 of which help with writing original songs for their set list. Keep watching Bear News for the weeks to come for a possible profile on the band. Reporting on the honors concert for Bear News, I'm Shelby Irwin.
It's safe to say the night was a success. If you'd like to follow the Cowards, you can find them on Instagram under the handle @thecowardsband. If you'd like to attend future events such as these, follow the Honors Student Council Instagram at @SHC_UNCO. After this short break, meteorologist Mackenzie Lake is back with her full weather report.
And it sounds like the snow is coming, and maybe lots of it. Don't go anywhere.
3 out of 4 Americans know little to nothing about heart valve disease. Yet 11 million Americans are affected by heart valve disease.
If you have symptoms, please don't delay your care.
Physicians are trained to listen to the heart and detect any abnormal heart sounds or murmurs.
Heart valve disease usually can be treated successfully in all patients, regardless of their age, race, gender, or ethnicity. The key is getting properly diagnosed and treated in time.
Please look after your own hearts. You have a lot of living to do yet, so enjoy it.
Act now.
Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart.
Go to valvediseaseday.org to learn more.
Okay, so it's March, and we had some beautiful weather this week. But meteorologist Mackenzie Lake says that warm weather is gone for a while. So give us the bad news about that big snowstorm we've heard so much about.
Thank you, Kate, and bad news is right. We are going to be seeing so much snow. But before we get into that, let's take a look at our high temperatures for all across the U.S. today. We do have these color-coded red regions. We'll be seeing up into the mid to upper 80s and 90s, so a really nice day for the southern parts. These yellow color-coded regions we'll be seeing around the 70s. Taking a look at Colorado, Denver and Durango will be reaching up to 44 degrees. Grand Junction should be right around the 49 degrees, and northern parts of Colorado will be right around 39. Taking a look at right now in Greeley, Colorado, we'll have a high of 44 with a low of 30. It's going to be raining later today, but that will turn into snow overnight. Then taking a look at our surface analysis map, we need to keep an eye out on our low that's moving right off the coast of California. This is what's going to be causing our snowstorms. And as this low continues on, it's going to be strengthening and it's going to be causing a lot of severe weather, not only for us, but for parts of Texas as well. We can see this low has moved all the way over to New Mexico and has moved into the Four Corners region where it's producing a lot of snow on this Saturday, and that's where we're going to see the most snow is Saturday through Sunday. It's also creating a lot of thunderstorms and severe weather in Texas as well. So please be aware and be advised if you are traveling that this low is going to be creating a lot of severe weather for a major part of the U.S. But then taking a look into this is a better picture of this low. We can see as we have these windy and colder air masses moving down south, and we have a warm and drier air mass moving up north. These two air masses are colliding, and this is what is causing those huge thunderstorms to spur up right around the Texas and Oklahoma region. We can see right around Denver, we have a little bullseye where we're going to be seeing heavy, heavy snow. And right around the the Four Corners region, we will be seeing mixed precipitation. But taking a look into our snow potentials for all of Colorado, Scottsbluff, Cheyenne, Fort Collins, Larkspur, and parts of Denver, we'll be seeing anywhere from 24 to 36 inches of snow. Other parts such as Sterling and Brush will be seeing 12 to 24, and then areas right around Aspen will be seeing around 6 inches. Taking a look at Friday for Colorado, we will have a high of 41 with a low of 30. Friday is going to be the first day of that snowstorm to hit, so it will be super snowy all day. But then taking a look at our potential impacts, this is from the National Weather Service. They advise that travel will be very limited. There may be power outages, road closures, and if you do plan to go out, please be so safe and have your plan set in store because there potentially could be blizzard conditions. The other impacts, it could be very dangerous for livestock, and as I said, we will be seeing the most amount of snow from Saturday into Sunday. But then taking a look at our weekend forecast for all of Greeley, Saturday through Monday, we'll be seeing a high of 34 on Saturday, 32 on Sunday, and mid to upper 30s on Monday. Our lows for this weekend will be seeing 29 on Saturday, 24 on Sunday, and then 19 on Monday. Of course, we're going to be seeing snow all throughout this weekend, so it is going to be a very historic weekend for us in store. I'm meteorologist Mackenzie Lake. Tune back in later in the next weeks to see me report the weather. Back to you, Austin.
Thanks, Mackenzie, for that wonderful report. I know this may not be the spring break we were hoping and planning for, and kind of sounds more like another winter break. Just please remember to be safe out there and stay bundled up. And one more thing about the storm. The university sent out an email Wednesday afternoon encouraging the UNC community to check the email and text notifications regularly and stay up to date on any university schedule changes that may happen because of the storm. When Bear News returns, our trusty sports anchor Aaron Schmidt joins us in the studio with a men's and women's basketball update. All that and much more. Stay tuned.
What's more dangerous? A man who isn't afraid of death or one who's found everything to live for? I asked him if he was proud of me. He emphatically said yes as he laid his pecan-colored head on my chest, and I went through my mind 1,000 times to figure out what that could possibly mean, and every single example ended in motivation for me. So you may not be afraid to die, but I'm more afraid to let them down. And I found something to live for, which is a dangerous motive forever fueled. See, your thoughts may be involuntary, but my actions are very calculated. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. My sons ain't raised by no coward, and they won't be one either. If this be the measure of a man, the yardstick gonna need way more meters. I take it too far, so they never come up short, because I found everything to live for.
Welcome back to Bear News. Bear Sports anchor Aaron Schmidt is here and in the studio. We missed March Madness last year, but both of UNC's basketball teams fought hard for a trip to the big dance. So, Aaron, did they make it?
Thanks, Austin. And well, the good news is that both teams fought hard. The bad news is neither team is going to the big dance. UNC's men's basketball started this tournament Wednesday as they hit the hardwood against the 9th-seeded Sacramento State Hornets. And it was a back-and-forth first half, while the Bears shooting 57% from the field, while the Hornets shot 56%. The Bears were only down by 3 at the half, 45-42. The Bears' Jokic had 6 rebounds at the first half, and Bodie Hume had 17 points. The Bears stepped up offensively and defensively as the second half got underway. They held the Hornets to 38 points as the Bears put up 48 points in the second half. The Bears came out on top, winning the game by a score of 90-83. Hume finished the game with 30 points and 8 rebounds. Jokic finished the game getting a double-double with 14 points and 11 rebounds. The Hornets' Bryce Fowler finished the game with 23 points and 4 rebounds. The Bears took on top-seeded Southern Utah this morning, and although Bodie Hume poured in another 30 points, the Bears couldn't get past the Birds, losing 91-83. UNC fell behind early going into the first half, behind by 12, and just couldn't make up the deficit against the top-seeded Thunderbirds. And UNC's women's team started slow when they took on the Southern Utah Thunderbirds Tuesday, but after that slow start first quarter, they ran away with the game. By halftime, the Bears led the Thunderbirds 27-22. The Thunderbirds shot 25% from the field and missed all of their free throws in the first half. Meanwhile, the Bears shot 37% from the field at the half and made 25% of their free throws. The Thunderbirds tried to make a comeback in the third, putting up 21 points, but it just wasn't quite enough. The Bears put up 15 in the third and 21 in the fourth quarter. The T-Birds' Liz Graves played up to 40 minutes and put up 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 steals. Jasmine Gales for the Bears put up 21 points and 7 rebounds while playing 36 minutes. UNC's Alicia Davis had a great game with 15 points, 9 rebounds, 8 blocks, 2 steals, and 3 assists. What a stat line. Up next for the Bears, a Wednesday game with the top-seeded Idaho State Bengals, and that didn't turn out so well for the Bears as the Bengals won by a 65-55 final score. Alicia Davis had another great game for the Bears, getting 19 points, while Alicia White added another 15. But it wasn't enough, and the Bears ended their season with a 14-12 overall record and a 12-7 mark in the Big Sky. UNC softball kicked off its home opener with a doubleheader this past weekend, hosting the Colorado Classic. The team was excited for this opportunity as many of their February games were canceled because of, well, COVID concerns. COVID restrictions were in place for both players and visitors as the tournament got underway. Teams had to wear face coverings and stay out of the dugout unless they were actually in the lineup. But that didn't stop fans from showing their support. Against the South Dakota State Jackrabbits, UNC starting pitcher Maggie Thurston had a rough first inning, allowing a homer with no outs. That gave the Jackrabbits a 2-0 lead early. Unfortunately, that was only the beginning as South Dakota State would take a 5-0 lead on 6 hits. But UNC didn't go down without a fight. They put up 5 runs in the 4th inning, but it wasn't just enough as the Bears fell to the Jackrabbits by a final score of 14-8. And UNC's Madeline Moore keeps pushing the bar higher and higher as she adds to her already impressive list of honors. The freestyle swimmer was named the Western Athletic Conference Swimmer of the Year. This season, Moore already earned a WCA Swimmer of the Week honors and set a school 100 back record twice. At 54.1 seconds, her time brought the Bears up to 4th place at the WAC Championships. After dominating the championships in St. George, Utah, Moore begins her senior year holding 3 school records. And well, if you're a Rockies fan like the rest of us, you have something to cheer about as Coors Field will be opening its doors for the Major League Baseball regular season. But due to the pandemic, things will be different, obviously. 12,536 fans will be able to attend the first 7 games against the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. Due to the variance request submitted to the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment, Rockies mascot Dinger won't make any in-game appearances and the rooftop seating is closed. And of course, don't forget your mask. Everyone older than 3 years of age has to wear a mask while enjoying the baseball game. So, circle it on your calendar. April 1st is coming, opening day. And with any luck, you'll be able to leave your television set and head to the ballpark to watch a baseball game in person. And Kate, if I were you, I'd be getting those tickets fast because that's not a lot of seats at Coors Field.
Absolutely. I've been missing the party deck all last summer. When Bear News returns April 1st, Aaron Schmidt will also be able to tell us how the Bears are doing as they head into spring sports. That's going to do it for our show tonight here on Bear News. Thank you for joining us on Facebook Live. We'll be back on Facebook April 1st as we continue to produce live shows throughout the rest of the spring semester.
From all of us here at Bear News, please have a safe and fun spring break, Bears. If you or anyone you know of is doing something epic over break, tag us on our socials at BearNews-UNCO for a chance to be featured on Bear News on our first episode back. Thank you and good night.